We're now stepping into what is a very special area of the Petersen Museum called the Vault. I'm in hog heaven. I'm a massive Metallica fan, and these cars here are some of the custom collection of James Hetfield, the lead singer and guitarist of Metallica. Lots from Rick Dorr, who's a renowned hot rod builder. And look at this, Iron Fist, which is one of my personal favourites of the James Hetfield cars, finished in bare metal, and the level of skill required to do that, because you can't cover things up with filler, Bondo, paint, etc., is incredible. Walk with me, Dennis. We're going to come down here. We've got Crimson Ghost. I've actually seen Crimson Ghost before, I think, at Festival of Speed, a special exhibition they did there many moons ago. 1937 Ford Coupe, absolutely astounding looking car. Another Rick Dorr car. Once again, a Rick Dorr car here. Voodoo Priest, 1937 Lincoln Zephyr. Just amazing design and amazing execution. We're going to walk backwards now and look at this astounding truck. This is called Straight Edge, 1956 Ford F100. This is from Scott Mugford, Blue Collar Customs. Just an incredible looking car. 455 cubic inch Oldsmobile V8 in this. And that paint job, oh my Lord. We are under an air conditioner in the vault here. It's very noisy, so apologies for that. But I'm just so excited. A couple more there. Ooh. Right, follow me round, Dennis. This one here is called Skyscraper, another Rick Dorr car, 1953 Buick Skylark, 350 cubic inch V8 Chevy in that one. And then if we turn around, we've got Slow Burn. That's the one I saw at Goodwood Festival of Speed, 1936 Auburn, 852 Boat Tail Speedster, a 350 cubic inch V8 Chevy again in that one, and the Dead Kennedy, which is absolutely awesome. This one James Hetfield actually built himself. It's a 430 cubic inch Lincoln V8 in this one, and just an incredible example of a Lincoln Continental, slightly satin finish to it. Obviously, that grille's all very custom. Oh, what a thing. Sits so low to the ground, obviously on air ride. Amazing looking car and an amazing collection. And he's my hero. This is another James Hetfield, Rick Dorr collaboration. This one's called Aquarius. And many people regard this to be one of the most special cars in the collection. As you can see, it's an epic piece of design, very much inspired by sort of the Art Deco movement. I'm sure you'll agree that's quite a special and quite a unique thing. Now, music fans will probably recognise this despite the fact it's under wraps. It's a 1948 Cadillac Sedanette, and it's commissioned by Billy Gibbons from the rock band ZZ Top, conceived by designer Larry Erickson and built by Boyd Coddington. This was constructed in just 180 days, despite being hand-built. It's got a massive 500 cubic inch Cadillac V8 engine, and it's appeared on the covers of numerous magazines and ZZ Top albums. There it is, folks, Cadzilla. I have seen this once before at Festival of Speed. And I didn't think I'd see it again. What a thing, what an iconic car. Got a 1982 Deckard sedan here from Blade Runner. Here's a car you don't see every day. It's from the collection of His Majesty Mohammed VI, the King of Morocco, on loan from Laraki, I think it is. It's called a Laraki Sahara. 0 to 60 in under 3.5 seconds, 1,550 horsepower, 7-litre Chevy V8 with a turbocharger on it. 1,550 horsepower. Wow. This is quite an important car for hot rod historians. This was the first car from Ed Big Daddy Roth, who basically was a massive part of the hot rod craze in the 50s. 1959 this was, 331 cubic inch V8 Cadillac, 133 horsepower. And then from hot rods of old and important people in that world, check this one out. This is the Foose Deuce, 1932 Ford Roadster 0032 by Chip Foose, and that is a gorgeous thing. Very sleek lines, amazing paint job, and a very cool custom interior. What a thing. This has to be one of the most interesting cars in the vault. It's a Mercedes 600 Longoulet, and as you can see, it's got a bit of a stretch, and you'll see it's got some running boards on the outside, possibly to position your guards. Now, the interesting thing with this car is it once belonged to Saddam Hussein. Apparently, it arrived here, and they then found some documents and realised that one of the former owners was Saddam himself. Ooh. If you're aware of the movie Little Miss Sunshine, this is the VW bus, or Type 2 transporter from that. 75 mile an hour top speed, 68 horsepower, and price when new was just under $8,000 on one of these. This car here is a 1965 Ford Zebra Mustang by George Barris, driven by Nancy Sinatra in 1965's Marriage on the Rocks. And this must be another George Barris car over here, because it's absolutely mental. Now, this car here may have been viewed by more people than any in the whole Petersen Museum. This was Pope John Paul II's Pope-mobile. As you can see, it's a very stretched Cadillac, and that's where the man himself sat and waved. A couple of interesting cars here. This one was owned by Howard Hughes, a 1951 Chrysler camera car owned by RKO Pictures, which was bought by Howard Hughes. Basically, one of the first camera cars that appeared when they were making movies. Someone decided it was difficult to get moving shots, etc., and these things were all rigged. We've also got a 1971 Di Tommaso Pantera, I think one of the best looking cars of its era. Interesting thing with this one is it belonged to Elvis, and Elvis went out to start it one day and it wouldn't start, and he was so furious he shot it 3 times, and the bullet holes are still in it. Unfortunately, from the angle here, we're not allowed to walk in between the cars or anything. I can't show you those bullet holes. We've got a couple under wraps here, but this car is the car from the Green Hornet. And this one here, if you watch Netflix and you're aware of Gotham Garage, this is one that they built. It's the Exner, and they built that and donated it to the Petersen Museum. It's a 1960 Plymouth XNR replica. Virgil Exner produced one of these back in the day, a bit of a one-off vehicle, and it was their sort of tip of the hat to what they thought was an exceptional piece of design. This one's under wraps, but it's an absolutely bananas car called Grease Lightning. John Travolta's by the looks of it. Here's a very strange one, a 1969 Citroen Mehari Transparente, 602cc flat 2, 62 mile an hour, 29 horsepower. As you can see, it's got transparent plastic bodywork. A very strange concept. There's just so much here, folks. There's just cars for days. The vault is very, very special. And if you're coming to the Petersen Museum, I strongly suggest you pay the extra couple of quid and come down to the vault, because it's constantly changing, but I think it's always going to be fairly breathtaking. Just look at all these bikes. So here's one for the F1 cars. We've got 1995 McLaren MP410, 3-litre Mercedes-Benz V10, 699 horsepower, Mika Häkkinen, Mark Blundell, Nigel Mansell, Jan Magnussen. This one had no wins, 2 podiums, 17 races. We've then got a 2.9 litre V10, 1999 McLaren MP414. This car would have been driven by Mika Häkkinen, David Coulthard, 7 wins, 15 podiums in 16 races. We've got 2009 MP424. This was Lewis Hamilton, Heikki Kovalainen. And over there we have a 2005 MP420, which was driven by the likes of Juan Pablo Montoya and Kimi Räikkönen. Oh, this is an iconic one back from my Scalextrics days as a boy. A 1987 Lotus Type 99T, Ayrton Senna and Satoru Nakajima driven that one. That is Senna's car, signed there, as you can see as well. It looks like that might be signed by Bruno rather than Ayrton, but I wouldn't put my life on that. And of course, the Rothmans Williams, driven by Senna, obviously lost his life in one of these tragically, and Damon Hill. We've then got 2011 McLaren MP426, that's 2.4 litre V8 driven by Jenson Button, Lewis Hamilton. And then obviously we've got a more modern day McLaren over here, very cool. Then got some classic open wheelers and some absolutely bonkers drag cars and some big sports cars. These two here, driven by none other than Juan Fangio.